Welcome to the Victory Formation Lounge podcast, a pro football concentrated podcast that discusses NFL games week to week.
Welcome back to the Victory Formation Lounge podcast. We're back. Week 9 review. Ha! My man got the cigar.
Win a circle, baby. Win a circle, baby.
Tony,
take the cock out your mouth.
Nobody smokes more cigars than you. I know you ain't talking.
I don't smoke. I smoked one cigar in the past 2 years, man. I chew tobacco.
That's 10 times.
Just continue the intros. I didn't see that coming.
Baby hating.
Cock avalanche. Shout out to Euphoria.
All right, let's focus, guys.
All right, let's do this again. Tony for the Colts.
Minos.
90 gag. All right. Rex.
Ball so hard, University. We're back in the building. Rex. Shout out to the Baltimore boys.
Cy, Patriots Nation.
Oh, they're nation now.
I hear you, Bergang.
Hey, Bergang, you muted.
Quaku, Philadelphia Eagles.
Man's bored of winning.
I know, right? But we them boys.
Yeah. Week 9 just got wrapped up. We're going to jump right into it with the Colts 3, Patriots 26. We'll address that with the winner first. My man, Soldier Cy of the Pats. Go ahead.
All right. Patriots Colts 26-3. Mac Jones, he threw 20 completions out of 30 attempts for 147 yards and 1 touchdown. And let me just point this out. In the previous 5 games that Mac Jones has played in, he threw an interception in each of those games, but not this time. He broke that streak. But even a rearranged offensive line for us, they had Trent Brown at left tackle, Cole Strange at left guard, James Ferentz at center, and Mike Onwenu at right guard. That was still subject of penalties and pressures. So much so that Mac Jones, he accumulated 4 sacks and what was last week a career high 6 sacks. Ramondre Stevenson, our running back, he racked up 15 carries on 60 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Parker was out, so was Nelson Aguilar. As a result, Taquan Thornton started over him, along with Jacoby Myers and Kendrick Bourne. They both factored in as rushers. Now, the Indianapolis, their secondary had past Patriots with Stephon Gilmore and Kenny Moore II, but they allowed a combined 9 catches to the wideouts through 14 targets. Now, defensively, the Colts got bullied. I mean, Erlinger got sacked 9 times. Jonathan Jones, he blocked the punt, and undrafted safety Brendan Schooler, he was there to recover it. And points ensued because of that. But that wouldn't be the last time either. A pick 6 from Jonathan Jones later in the final minutes gave New England a 26-3 lead. Now we have to wait. Now we have a bye up until the 20th, and when we get a rematch with the Jets. But never mind us winning the game. That was a given. The biggest talk of this whole thing was the Colts staffing controversy. Anthony?
Sorry, before you go, when you said 9 times, it just reminded me of the movie Crazy Stupid Love, where Steve Carell's character is telling Alyssa Milano's character about how many women he slept with, and he says that, and she goes, 9? No, his wife. She goes, 9? You slept with 9 women while we were on a break? I only slept with 1 guy.
Oh, that's crazy. I remember that movie. But
9 sacks, man. Judon just took the sack lead.
That game.
Judon had 3 of those sacks, and Josh.
Judon, dude. Like the way we were beaten in this game is probably the worst offensive output I've ever seen. And usually, I'd expect Belichick to come up with some sophisticated.
Didn't have to.
He didn't even all he did was, you know what? I know the weakest link on your line. I'm gonna put Judon right around there, and he's gonna feast. And we've made no adjustments.
Yeah, like I said last week, he knows how to take advantage of inexperienced quarterback.
It was like we're just gonna pick on you doing stunts and twists, and it's going to work every time. And that's basically how they got the 9 sacks. And the offensive output is probably it's actually the worst I've seen as a Colt ever. Like, and I think this dates back like realistic.
How many did y'all score when you tied?
Was that?
How many did y'all score when you tied?
I think it was like 2020, I think, or something like that.
Oh.
Something like that. But I think this is the worst offensive output since 1997 in Colts history. And that's when the Colts were like historically like really bad. And I think that's what broke the camel's back because, as you know, Reich is an offensive coach. So like if your offensive output is that bad, then it is what it is. I honestly, it was time, but at the same time, I think Ballard has just as much to blame as he does because he didn't help Reich's case at all. But going back to the game, our defense actually played pretty well because New England, their offense didn't really put up much either. Like a lot of their points were far field goals, a block punt that put them literally at the goal line, and then a pick six.
Yeah, the score is not.
If you watch the game, it was a shit show of an offensive output on both sides. We were just the worst team of the two. But then moving forward,
32.
Was that?
Nothing. Keep going.
But yeah. Oh, what happened to Bergen?
Keep going. No,
but yeah,
I'll be back.
Then we go. I wasn't expecting the firing, just because this is the first time I've seen Irsay do that as the owner, as the lone owner. So I think he was just fed up. Now the hiring of Jeff Saturday had everybody scratching their head, right? Everybody's like, "What's going on?" But I waited a little bit. I wanted to find out what the hell was going on before I actually gave my reaction because I was like, there has to be some science or some method to this madness. And reality is
no method.
There's really no method to this madness. Irsay, like I watched his press conference, and it just confirmed that Irsay is still living in the 2000s. That's what it is. It hasn't, like, the problem with this team is it lacks accountability from the top down. And I think he's trying to alleviate that hiring Jeff Saturday because Jeff Saturday is the closest thing to Peyton Manning from that era when it comes to leadership and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is he has no coaching experience whatsoever. And
he does
high school.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count.
Bro, you can't count that.
I'm saying
where he has a losing record.
Exactly. I understand.
I also coach that flag football team.
Right. I understand that he's a consultant on the organization, and the organization has been trying to hire him for the last 4 years. And
how much of a consultant is he if he doesn't even know the names of the coaching staff? Dude was up there not even knowing people's names, blood.
He was, well, we'll get back to that. Let me finish.
He knows Reggie Wayne.
Yeah. I mean, half of the coaching staff he played with. That's the funny thing. Half of the coaching staff he actually played with. There's like 3 or 4 players from the Super Bowl team that's actually coaching right now.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is this hire was partially a third-party evaluation of the direction of the team. My question is, it's not my question is the thing is he's been trying to force him to coach. They tried to hire him in 2019 as an offensive lineman coach. He was like, nah. They tried to hire him again at the beginning of the offseason last year. He said, nah. And I think Irsay is trying to work him either as in a management role or a coach. The thing is, this messes up the morale of other coaches that are assistants. I was actually expecting them when they fired Reich. I was hoping that they would bring someone like Bubba Ventrone, who was our specials teams coach and is our longest tenured coach on the team. And he brings a different. Was that?
He used to play with the Niners.
Oh, he did, huh? Yeah. He actually played for the Patriots too at one point. He was also on the Patriots. He has a different element to Reich. Reich is more of the players coach, calm, whereas Bubba's a little more fiery, like holds people more accountable. And he didn't go that direction. I was happy that he didn't pick Gus Bradley because we know who he is. I'm happy he didn't pick John Fox, who's also on our staff. We already know who he is. I was hoping he was going to bring someone with new spirit that actually has coaching experience, and he didn't. And that press conference just showed me that he's living a dream. Irsay has lost his mind.
He's got that Jack Daniels going.
No, he has lost his mind.
I don't listen.
I wouldn't bet against this guy. I would bet money on this guy.
You saw that he's lost his.
Yesterday. I'm glad that like you ingested the information a little more and kind of sat with it a little bit, because yesterday you were kind of trying to defend the shit a little bit, and I was like,
I was only defending the whole idea of
the Rooney Rule thing, which I understood.
That doesn't make any sense.
I get that, but forget the Rooney Rule. Forget the Rooney Rule, because Rooney Rule is you're hiring new coach, you're doing the strong, which is an off-season thing. So let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about as ridiculous as it sounds. This was strategic if you pay attention to the timeline.
It was.
He started by benching the quarterback.
Right.
These are all Irsay's moves. Then what did he do after benching the quarterback? He started a guy he knew that couldn't do much for them. Number 3, he fired the offensive coordinator who doesn't call plays, knowing very well that if he fires Reich, the next best thing will be to put that guy there. He made sure Reich got rid of that guy. So now when they got rid of Reich, there was nobody else to put there, and then he could put whoever he wanted there. He put an inexperienced guy in there. At least this is my opinion. Sorry, let me clarify.
Yeah, go ahead.
He put an inexperienced guy in there to make sure that they can get the number 1 pick. And why does he want that? Because the only times he's had success on this team is when he's had the number 1 pick and picked a quarterback that was a generational talent. You take those quarterbacks away, and jokes aside, you can defend this if you want because you know more about them than I do. The Colts have been a shit show outside of those 2 guys when they played. You've had 2 generational guys who are potentially Luck retired, but potentially both of them were potential Hall of Famers. You went to 2 Super Bowls and won 1. Gross underachievement for the kind of talent that you had at quarterback. So the management of a team, I don't know if I can say Irsay is good at this because number 1 pick falls in your lap. You didn't do anything for that. There's no planning or GMing to pick the number 1, the obvious number 1 guy. We can argue a little bit about the Ryan Lee Peyton Manning thing, about which one he picked.
Yeah, that era I disagree with you, but the Luck era has been a shit show. The era before that was actually not a shit show. They actually had
very
qualified GM, a Hall of Fame GM, mind you. It's a Hall of Fame GM.
No, 100%. The Hall of Fame GM.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you saying that.
He had possibly and arguably the most cerebral quarterback the game has ever known.
Correct. But I disagree.
Obviously now we know quarterbacks can cover for a lot of faults on your team.
Yeah, but
so anyway,
but the reason why I disagree with that statement is if you go back to that era.
Which statement?
That has been a shit show without the 2 number 1 picks.
No. I said that if you take out the era of the Colts without those players, like when they didn't have Manning and when they didn't have Luck.
Yeah, but he's only been an owner between those 2 eras. So I'm
not talking about him. I'm talking about the Colts organization. I'm saying that like the Colts to me, they haven't proven that they know how to really build a team outside of having those 2 quarterbacks that helped with the process as much as possible with their play. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know. So even though he's doing these things and trying to get another number 1 pick, it looks to me like he's thinking, hey, if I get another one and he's as good as these 2 were, then we're right back where we were. And I think that's his plan because none of these moves are moves that we are trying to build a franchise. Think about the veteran players on your team. Think about the D line, the D tackle. What's his name? DeForest Buckner. Think about Bump and Run Gilmore, who came. Yeah. These both.
I disagree. I honestly disagree with that statement because I think he's just embarrassed. That's why he's fired Reich. Otherwise, he would have still probably challenged for that.
You don't think any of this is strategic?
No, not the way you were describing it. I think he's always
even the fact that he waited till after the trade deadline to make these moves, knowing very well that people would have come to poach his players.
No, I don't think that's what it is. Yeah, I don't think that's what it is.
I don't buy it. I think honestly, he had a plan.
I think he has
a plan.
I don't think firing those guys would have made that much of a difference. Looking at the way this team is going, a matter of fact, keeping Reich with the way the offense is going, I guarantee you we're still picking the top 3. So I don't think that would have made that much of a difference.
I get that, but also Reich, not just Reich. I'm just saying having people there that keep boosting the players. I keep talking about people will. You said it yourself. Reich is a player's coach. Guys will try to play for him, even if they're losing. They will give the effort. Jeff Saturday, these guys are not gonna bother. They don't care. They're already thinking about their next teams at this point.
But Jeff Saturday is similar to Manning. He's one of those kind of perfectionist guys. So he's not.
They don't know him.
Mid-season.
That's what I'm saying. They don't know him.
That's what I'm saying. No, I understand that. But as a coach, you still have to
pick a 30-year-old as your offensive coordinator who was assistant QB's coach.
Yeah, I understand that. If they don't listen to him, the fact that he's that close to Irsay, he's going to do an overhaul. So, like, if you don't listen to him,
but that's the plan. That's what I'm saying. I think that's the plan, to overhaul the team.
Yeah, but then it's like, who do we keep? At the end of the day, it's like evaluating talent. Like, who do you keep? I think you're overthinking it a little bit. Right? I get what you're thinking.
All I know is if I'm a season ticket holder for Indy, I want a refund.
I honestly think this is what it is. If, after listening to Irsay the last like 2.5 seasons, he is still stuck on that glory phase from 2000 to 2000 and whatever.
I don't blame him.
It's been 12 years since that, though, which is a long time in football. In the football life, 12 years is a long time. But he's still stuck in that because he always refers back to that. Like, this is what we're trying to do. This is what we are. We're the 4th winningest franchise since 2000. Yes, but 3/4 of that happened over 12 years ago. So, like, he is still in that bliss, trying to recapture that bliss, which is why he is going for this guy, because he is part of that era, and he knows that he can't get Manning. He's always wanted Manning to be in a managerial / coaching, position within the organization. Manning and him didn't have a really good falling out. So, like, Manning is now even more Denver than he is Indy, even though he released
one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
Yeah. No, so Manning took that.
Took that personal.
He took that really personal. Yeah, he took that really personal.
He built that stadium. He built that city. He built everything.
Of course.
And then he just said, "Hey, your neck is crooked. Get out."
I mean,
they had a chance to get luck, man. I mean,
exactly. Any organization.
I respect the decision. I'm just saying why the decision was what it was, and
it was what it was. And like he's tried to kind of milk him back. And Manning, you could just tell Manning, he's refused to do Colts games on his Manning thing, and because they asked him, I think we have one Monday night game. They even asked him if he wanted to do the Manning thing. He was like, nah, he declined. But Jeff Saturday is the closest thing from that era to Manning in that he is one of those like tough love leaders that players respected. So he's kept close tabs with Jeff Saturday for the longest time, trying to lure him into the organization. And that's one thing about Irsay. He is a relationship type of owner. So all his players that he has good relationship with, he brings them back to hire. A lot of them are in his management. A lot of them are his coaches. Like, that's one thing he does. And with Jeff Saturday, with that temperament, similar temperament to Manning, he's always tried to get him in the organization.
Oh, he made Jeff Saturday is kind of like coach.
Saturday has kept him at an arm's distance. I think finally he's convinced.
You're straight, bro. You're straight.
But I just don't think it's just. I think the way he approached this is just. He could have still brought him in as a fucking manager or something within the managerial position and still have him overlook. But he forced him to become a coach, which is basically a slap on all his coaches.
All coaches,
and everybody else that's outside looking in, especially since he's about to try and overhaul. So now you're going to go in. Exactly. Now you're going to go in at the offseason and do all your due diligence to hire. And you know what I'm talking about. Who the hell wants to be a part of this? Like, he's setting himself up for failure.
That's messed up.
He's setting him, and you could tell even in the press conference, like, the media was asking him the right questions, and he was getting hella defensive and yelling.
What I don't understand is why did Jeff Saturday accept the job?
Why wouldn't he?
He probably got a lot of money.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but if it goes south real fast, there's the end of your potential coaching career.
Yeah, but I don't think Jeff really wanted to.
He's got a ton of money.
It's just the interim coaching, right?
But again, if he does well as an interim coach, he's obviously going to try and
use that.
Yeah, he's
I've
gonna
never
try and
been.
interview him and see what is the future going to be like. Like just like like you would do any other coach.
And
So, but
that is only going to cause a bigger stare because he's going to have
Thank
to
you.
skirt around the Rooney Rule,
Thank
which is
you.
going to become a disaster. So
Thank you.
there is no good way this ends. That's all
Exactly.
I know.
There's no good way this ends, and like you could tell it was just. And he's also been. Irsay has been on a power trip, as someone just said recently. Like ever since that whole Dan Snyder thing, after he was getting applause and stuff like that, he has taken that power trip to the next level
He
within
did.
his organization.
He's made like 8 moves.
Seriously,
One
and it
of them was
started
right.
with
Only one of them
the
was
Snyder
a
shit.
good move, which was just criticizing Dan Snyder. The rest of the moves have just been terrible.
It's been terrible.
But anyway, we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how it goes.
I think at this point I'm confident enough to say that I do not want to be a billionaire because I think when you get to that B status and money, you lose your mind a little bit.
He lost his mind, bro.
All of them, they're all losing their minds.
No,
They're
like, whoa, where are your daughters at? 'Cause
his
daughters-
they're all losing their minds.
his daughters are like, they're going to replace him, and they're very much involved behind the scenes. Like, which one of them would dare to talk sense into it? Because if you watch his press conference, you're like, dog, this guy's lost it.
The press conference was pretty much, it's my team, I do what I want.
Bruh, thank you.
Yeah.
And even Ballard.
He
You
was
watch
fine.
Ballard in the press conference, he is shook. Because you could
Sure.
tell, like,
Sorry,
Ballard should get fired.
like yo, you could tell like he knows his job is not safe. And like you could tell by his body language at the podium. Like, I've never seen him like that at any of the podiums.
the man
He
has
should
not made
get
a
fired.
decision in like 2 months.
Who's that? He
Ballard.
hasn't spoken. Not only that, he hasn't spoken in like 3.
Why would he
Usually-
speak about what? Why would you guys talk
No,
about decisions that are yours?
No, because
Like,
Ballard typically, since he's been a GM, like every month he has like a segment where he actually addresses
right.
the fans and the media about the state of the team. He has not done that once this year. Not once.
Irsay probably told him to stop.
Possibly.
Anyway,
Possibly.
check. I think Kweku's trying to get back in.
Oh shoot, my bad. Possibly, but it's looking real peak. And honestly, dog, I'm about to be.
Hi, handsome.
I'm not even trying to like give people my age, but I'm too old to invest so much emotion in this. So I'm just kind of like, it's his team, his decisions. Let's see where it goes from here.
I
man.
just feel bad for the players
you're
who have
making
like
your coaches. You're making because even Reggie Wayne, he could have hired Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
He's on the staff.
Yeah,
I
this is
mean,
first. This is his first year there, though. This is his
Because
first
that, like
year.
Rex, like I heard what Rex said
Wait.
first.
His first year there, he's been there
I
for
would
9
have,
games. Hired
I
guy that was
would
on TV.
no, but there's a difference. This guy has been with the team the whole time. Reggie Wayne just came back to the team.
but he's coached.
I'd agreed if he
But
had
he's
said
coaching.
someone like, "Can
But
I
he's
land?" You don't even
coaching,
know the team.
though.
Let me land, bro.
All right,
There
land your
are
plane.
other players from that team, that Super Bowl team, that actually have coaching experience that on the staff, like Cato June.
Like
Yeah.
Robert Mathis.
So
John Fox.
He should have. Forget John Fox. We already know how he is. He's coach. Like,
Yeah, but it's interim.
Yeah, but I would rather give someone that's like one of the young talents that has new ideas. Give them a chance. Let him see how he leads the team. So
But
like
you can't
Cato
do that
June,
if you're trying to
control.
tank, though.
Was that?
You can't do that if you're trying to tank. What if
I
you
mean
win
that
6
too.
games? What if you win
Unless
6
he's
games?
also trying to sell his team, but
Yeah.
unless he's also trying
Anyway,
to sell
I
the
mean-
team.
Nah,
because
nah,
this is
he
crazy.
loves that
We
team
can go on
too
this
much.
forever. We're already like 20
Yeah.
minutes deep.
He loves
But
that.
that's
team.
all we got to talk about.
Yeah. No, I mean it was the highlight of the highlight of this.
I
the
won a
outcome.
game.
I was looking forward to talking about this game because
So, but yeah, even if we do get like a hella early pick to pick a quarterback, I have like the direction this team is going is like, all right, I've seen this before.
started trying to tank.
I've seen this before. So yeah.
You know what? Y'all are gonna take offensive linemen for a few years and then wait till Manning comes out of college and take
Oh,
that
the
place
young-
off
the
and then
sons.
reboot the whole shit. You're
A
gonna
lot
take
of pressure. That's a lot of pressure for the kid, man.
I know.
I can see another Manning saying,
the
"I don't want
following
to come
year,
there."
the following
Oh,
year
his
they're going to
uncle
try
will
and
not
get
let him
Edgerrin
go there.
James' son. Just watch. The following year they're going to try
Edgerrin
and get
James or Harrison? What's his name?
Oh
Robert
yeah,
Harrison?
Marvin Harrison.
Marv
son.
Jr.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah,
son,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Marv
Oh,
Jr.
Mark Jr. is legit, man. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yo, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think Manning's gonna let his nephew come.
Nah.
Yeah, no, his
Not
nephew's
with that
probably
owner.
going to tell.
Not with
He's
that
probably
owner.
Not with that owner,
He's going to
yeah.
pull an Uncle Eli on
They'll
y'all.
pull an Eli.
I
They'll
know.
pull an Eli on him.
I know.
Pull an Uncle
All
Eli.
that
Like,
clout.
not,
Yeah. So
I'm not
but-
coming
Whenever
back.
Marvin Harrison Jr. wants to play, he will play because if not, Pops will pull out the
he
strap.
gives me Ursay gives me Jerry Jones vibes from like the early 2000s.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
Like,
No,
Jerry
now.
Jones. Al
Yeah,
Davis.
because right now Stephen Jones
Hey.
is the one that pretty much
Yeah,
handles
Jerry's
stuff.
chill now, man.
Jerry, like
Jerry's
he's
not.
very
What
much
are you
like Jerry.
talking
Like
about?
He's chill now.
for the longest
he's
time,
not.
Jerry was living in
He's
that
worse.
dynasty era.
No.
Even
Yeah,
when
he
the
was.
team had moved on, like way ahead. And,
Jerry
like,
is in the
Yeah.
glory
I
hole
feel
days.
like Parcells calmed him down a little bit. He wasn't too talkative when Parcells was around. When Parcells left,
that's part of the reason why
Loose
Parcells
Nah,
left.
I think his son. He's handed the majority of the stuff
Yeah,
over to
no,
his
I
son.
don't think Parcells.
Yeah.
Parcells
Jerry Jones will just do interviews. His son
Yeah.
is
he was
Steven
in
is
a,
running
he was in a power struggle with Parcells, and that's why Parcells left early because
Yeah.
he didn't have that kind of freedom. Because Parcells is one of them, like he's like Belichick. He's a coach, GM type of guy. So when you hire him, let him do what he does, and then you stand back. If he needs something from you, he'll tell you. Whereas with Jerry was like hella involved. Parcells was not having it, so he's like, you know what, I'm gonna leave. And like just dating back to that era, it's very similar to how Ursay is moving now. Like it's like I'm still living in the 2000s, and I don't want to accept accountability. Like hold people accountable.
I mean, think
Until
about
this
it.
team does that, we're gonna be a shit show till further notice.
Think about it. How many
Valid.
owners go from like Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck? Think about that long stretch of just success
Seriously.
and
Seriously.
stability at the quarterback position.
Seriously.
And
All
win
of a
one
sudden,
ring.
too.
It's Green Bay, but they just don't have an owner.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, Green Bay. Green Bay. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Or even the Niners back
No,
in the 90s. but
no, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Neither of Green Bay's quarterbacks were number one overall pick. They were not an easy pick. Neither of them were that. The Colts
No, but
literally
they're
had
good.
the player
I would have
handed to
taken
them.
damn Aaron Rodgers number 1 overall instead of fucking Alex Smith. I'm still mad about that.
Sounds like a personal
No,
problem.
but
Sounds like a personal problem.
Rex brings up a great point though. It's a
Brett
great
Favre
point.
was traded there.
It's different. Yeah, he came from the Falcons.
Thank you. Brett
Yeah.
Favre wasn't even drafted by them.
But
Yeah.
still,
so
it's
I'm
not
not
the
saying
same.
no, but
It's
you
not the
just
same.
but you said that longevity of
Success
Top
at the
quarterback
stability. Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
shit, Favre to Rodgers, and they got
Yeah.
2.
The crazy part
They
is
have what, 5 MVPs?
the
Jeez.
crazy part is
More than that.
yeah, more
I
than
think
that.
more than that.
More than
Yeah.
that. The crazy part is when they picked Luck, I knew by year 2 that they had the wrong GM at the helm, and Ursay never saw that.
Because
But anyway,
Ursay
that's
was
a-
high.
What's that?
He was
I know,
high.
right? Like,
Valid.
Let's not
Like-
cast
Valid.
aspersions.
but like there's definitely a difference between when Manning was it, because Manning at least he had like a legit GM that gave him what he needed, gave him a great team. They had a run of a lot of wins,
Yeah. Had a
definitely
good coach
underachieved on the
too.
Super Bowl tip, but
Made him a lot of money.
they were a real that too. They were a real well-oiled down organization when Polian was there. But when Grigson came,
It became Lou.
man, that was when I
Yeah,
was
right.
still very emotionally. As Rex, though, I used to just flip out. I like,
Yeah,
no,
he
what
used
are
to be
they
upset.
doing?
Their O-line was a
Bruh,
disaster for the most part
I
of
saw it
Luck's
after
career.
year 2. I saw it after year 2. I'm like, dog, what is going on?
I was like,
Oh,
they're
so
gonna,
you know how I feel right now.
Yeah, I can relate, but you know, man's is too old for this, dog.
Listen.
Speaking of which, that's a good way to segue to your game, bro. Let's go.
Man, guess who's back? Lamar's back. Guess who's back? Oh man.
Shout out to Drake.
Yo, we-
Got me my
Wait,
10.
did Drake,
As
did he
much
wear a
as-
Simmons jersey?
As
Oh,
much
I
as
thought-
I was upset a week ago when we got Roquan and didn't get a wide
Right.
receiver and all that stuff.
He was all over the field.
That man made an immediate impact.
All over the field.
Our
dog.
defense was a monster. Oh, back to you, Sai. Even though Judon did really well and had 3 sacks and everything, he might not win AFC Defensive Player of the Week because Justin Houston, at 102 years old,
And a
had
pick.
2.5 sacks and a pick. Homie,
So I'm just
Whoa.
glad Justin Houston decided to get rid of the rest of the braids that started from back here. Like
Wait, who did?
Justin
Houston.
Houston.
Did he have braids?
Yeah, don't you remember when he was with Kansas City and shit? Them shit started. From
Yeah, he had braids that were like when the hairline started. Dog. Yo,
oh,
He had the
man.
he had the Jerry Rice joints.
yeah.
He had like the Jet Li, man.
Can I celebrate? Can I celebrate a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
You need to
Go
put the
ahead.
cock back in
Take
your
the
mouth
wheel,
and
Rex.
ball
It's
so
your
hard
team.
on your chin.
I'll stab you in your eye.
Take the
Anyway.
wheel, Rex. This is your team.
So this was a beautiful game from beginning to end. Those 13 points, those last 7 points was a fugazi. It didn't matter. The
Yeah, it
real
was.
score was 27-6. Those boys could not get anything on the ground. Yo, Roquan put the clamps on Alvin Kamara. He hit him one time in the first quarter. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But Taysom Hill also bodied Marlon Humphrey on the run. That was pretty wild. Yeah. But
Oh yeah, I saw that.
oh my God, yo, we need to get one of these receivers because Chris Olave was giving our corners the work though.
Yeah, I saw that
Jeez.
too.
Boy was serious with it. But
I
yo,
don't get OBJ.
the type of style of ball we play, OBJ wouldn't want to come. I think the Cowboys or the Bills, and the Bills now depends on their quarterback's arm. So the Cowboys are the front runner, if you ask me. But that's another conversation. But yeah, the Baltimore Ravens played a complete
Because this
game.
man's eyebrows.
Very impressive. I was very impressed with what I saw. Lamar is on some serious. This is 2 weeks in a row that he has cussed out players on the field. I love it.
saw
I
that.
love the intensity.
I saw that.
It's
bro.
amazing to see him like that. He doesn't laugh a lot for obvious reasons, the money and all that stuff. But he is playing like an angry man possessed. And man, it's gonna take a lot to stop him. The only problem is when you get to the playoffs and you're playing against these high flying teams, your run game cannot compete. That's my worry. So we need to figure out how to move the ball a little better. But as a complete team, they're looking at the rest of our schedule. I honestly don't think anybody can beat us.
I think with a little more, time and chemistry, I think what's his face is actually a good asset because he actually showed flashes of like a potential like danger.
Don't say Deshaun Jackson.
Wait, did he hurt himself? Did he hurt himself?
He had his hamstring after 3 plays.
I told you.
No, but he showed
3
flashes.
plays.
Yo, don't hit him on
Actually,
Deshaun
the
Jackson,
coach
man.
came
That's
and
my
said he
guy.
could have
That's my
played.
guy.
Actually, he could have played. The coach just kept him out. Like, we don't need you right
That's
now.
my guy,
What
man.
I saw
Come on. The
with a little
Cowboys
more
killer.
chemistry and playing.
But
attacking.
it's hamstrings. It's not about size. That's just
Yeah, that's it.
Yo,
If you're a sprinter,
Bro.
you're a
When he
sprinter,
was
that's
with the Eagles a
that's
couple years ago, man, he had
yeah,
that. He balled out that first game and then out
That
for a
was
year
it.
with a groin.
Yeah.
He's done.
same thing
He's
with the
retired,
Rams as
man.
well. Rams, he also played like 1 or 2 games and was out.
He's not.
And then he asked for his release last year.
But assuming
He's still
that
getting
he
a ring,
comes back
though.
with even an inkling of that speed and like decent route running, like I think you guys, especially
Yo, we are getting so many
quarter.
bodies back
to be
after
able
the
to
bye.
stretch, to be able to stretch that, to
For
be
a
able to
quarter.
stretch the field with him.
We're gonna
and
be
then
so scary after the bye.
Yo, it sounds like
Isaiah Likely is also playing very well.
Mark Andrews is coming back after the bye. Gus Edwards is coming back after the bye. JK is supposed to come back in December. We just activated Charlie Kohler, who was our first tight end drafted.
Running Drake.
you love
Oh,
Drew.
I'm just saying we're getting so much
Fantasy
talent
football,
back.
bro.
So much talent back. We're gonna be so dangerous.
Drake.
So dangerous.
Drake. No. You guys are very dangerous. You're like the team that in the AFC that nobody wants to play or face.
Yeah, you don't want out of Baltimore right now. And Lamar is possessed, man. So it's
Another
gonna be-
team, I don't think they're on your level, but another team I don't think teams want to play. If Tannehill comes back,
the
I think
Titans.
Titans are going to be dangerous
Titans are a problem.
because
Potential
Titans are
problem.
always dangerous.
because Henry's actually got his feet back. Henry's got his
It's
feet
more
back.
of their running game, though. They have a good running game.
In defense.
They have a
And
good defense,
those are the two recipes for lots of wins.
Wide
Exactly,
receivers,
especially in
wise,
January.
they're not-
especially in January.
But
There
I don't
won't be
know.
any success with Willis, but if Tannehill comes back, they'll have a little bit of a dual
They're well
threat.
coached and
So
they never
exactly,
get any
they're
respect.
Well coached.
I totally
well
forgot they were the number 1 seed in AFC last year.
Last year, yep.
Yeah, they were.
2 years in a row. Right?
I mean, they lost the first game, but yeah.
But still doing
2
number
years
1
in a
seed.
row, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. 2 years ago, they were not the number 1 seed in the AFC.
No, 2 years. I think it was.
2 years ago, it was Kansas City.
Yeah, it's Kansas
Chiefs.
City exactly. But yeah, they're on the ascension. So I
Totally.
think right now it's in the AFC. I think it's Buffalo head to head with these guys because these guys,
KC.
the Ravens, are on the ascension too.
All depends on
KC.
Josh Allen's arm, though.
No, Casey's number 1, though.
Nah, I don't know, man. Like
Never
again,
count KC out, man.
like I said, if Tannehill played on Sunday, they win that
Yeah,
game.
but the thing is, KC struggles with Tennessee, though. It's just a bad matchup for them.
Yeah.
Even
In
last
general.
year.
In
Even
general.
last year.
In
Yeah,
general. Yeah, in
It's
general.
just a
actually.
bad matchup for them.
Yeah, in general. And like the strength of what you call it, the Titans defense is why they struggle. It's the same way we were able
It's
to
just
fluke
physical.
that win.
Yeah, that
Same way we were
physical.
able to fluke that win. If you can generate pressure with just the front four, you have a shot.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
KC, I always say KC's defense is a little. I mean, they're good, but they can get suspect at times.
Yeah. Sure.
That defense.
Especially their front,
Especially if you can run the ball. Because
Mhm.
then they have to play the run, and then you can pass. The thing is, they had Willis playing, and he just holds the ball too long.
Oh, God.
They didn't, they
That's a
didn't,
rookie now.
none of their receivers caught a pass.
What?
None.
None of their receivers caught a
None.
pass. It was just tight ends and running backs.
Man,
It was crazy.
imagine just running routes all day.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it.
They're not even getting.
AJ Brown was loving it.
Bruh,
He was clowning him like, yeah.
I'm sure.
He was
But
clowning
yeah.
him.
Anybody else have anything to say about that game? I think it was just straight clinical.
Yeah.
Straight up, all
That
Ravens,
last TD was luck.
straight
I
up.
don't know who's gonna be the quarterback for the Saints, but
30 for
Nobody
30.
does.
Nah.
I mean, then maybe Jay Bo needs to come back. I don't know why he's on the bench. I get that he's hurt, but
Yeah.
he might give them some live.
nah, he's okay. He's just been benched.
Yeah, it's been benched.
Does be a bench for what though? Is it because Andrew Luck went off at
Donating
one point?
picks.
Dalton
I mean,
was winning,
hey.
I think, when he was hurt. So
It's
Yeah,
all good.
that's
They
right.
can continue to tank, and then we just get our top.
The offense picked up when he got benched. That's what it was. But if this
Yeah.
continues,
That's what
you
LeBron-
come back. I'm pretty sure you come
the
back.
problem is
Is it?
that division is so sad. Everyone is
Yeah,
still in
and
it.
it's so
Now you're
like
talking about
tight.
somebody's demise. Come on now. 2
It's
years
like-
ago, it was the least.
it's like
No, but that division is so bad that even Carolina can't go out. They still
yeah,
gotta
it's
compete.
like everybody. It's like so close, but like they all. I
Atlanta's
think
a
they're-
little competitive, but I don't know.
I think
they
as of
all have
last
a
week,
losing record.
I was about to say as
They
of
all
last
do,
week, all of
but-
them had losing records.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
gonna be
Atlanta-
like
Atlanta went neck and neck with the
That's-
Chargers.
what is it like? Possibly a 7-10 gets in.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
Falcons.
And host the game.
I know.
Which
I
I
know.
think that's a bullshit rule. If you have I mean, I'm sorry. If you win your division just because you were the least disabled,
Yeah.
Really?
No,
Don't be surprised if a 10-7 team doesn't make the playoffs and somebody with a
It's happened before. Remember the Beastquake? They were like 7-9.
They were 6 and
Yeah.
6 and
Seven-
was it
seven
6
and
No,
nine.
7 and 9.
7 and 9's been the
7-9.
worst one. 7 and 9's been the worst one to get
Beastquake
it.
went right through that.
And I
Season.
think the Saints were
Oh
like
no,
11 wins.
Cardinals.
Yeah, they were
Cardinals.
11-5. Saints were
Yeah.
11-5, and they went.
It was
right
so
through
funny. I remember that they interviewed Sean Payton, and they were like, Sean, like, so are you looking forward to like the matchup after the Seattle Seahawks? And Sean was like, whoa. There's a reason we play the games. The games decide who wins. So no, we haven't played it, we haven't won.
Yeah,
But little
yeah,
did he know that they were really going to take
Beast
it.
mode. That was the beginning of something special. But yeah. And kudos to you guys. I know you weren't on the last show, Kweku. You guys on a run. I'm curious to see how you guys go through the second half of the season. I think your quarterback is the clear MVP leading guy right now. So, I mean, we'll see.
Pay that man.
I mean,
You see,
he's going to
I
get
feel
paid, but
like
it's getting up.
just a comment about that MVP thing. I feel like Mahomes has gotten to that Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant level where they are looking for anybody else but him to give the MVP to.
To be fair, this year it's definitely.
This year it's not.
No, this guy has only had
Don't,
three turnovers the
no.
whole year.
And you're already in week
3
10,
turnovers, and he's the
whatever.
reason why they were winning.
Two. Not, I mean, about
So,
2
I
interceptions.
mean,
and the
he's
turnover.
clearly the MVP right now. Let's be for real.
I will put it between him and Josh Allen.
haven't
I think
lost.
Josh Allen is still the front runner right now.
Nah, but
think
Josh
so.
Allen
They
has
haven't
been
lost
around
the
picks,
game.
too.
No,
They haven't
Josh
lost the
Allen,
game.
no,
He's
not.
the major reason why they're winning, and he's only
Josh Allen
committed
is
3
bored.
But he hasn't played well the last two games.
If you commit 3 turnovers the whole year, come on, it's not fair to even say that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Josh
I mean,
Allen.
the year is
That's a
still
slap
long.
on-
but
that's a slap on-
halfway,
That's a slap on Hurts' face. Like he
Yeah,
has
exactly.
not. He doesn't even turn the ball over. As reckless as he's been running and passing and all that, he doesn't turn the ball over.
he doesn't.
And they're
wish-
winning.
We can go through an era where it's not always the quarterbacks getting MVPs, man. Come on, man.
Tyreek Hill might get it.
Like, yeah, someone
Yeah.
else. Like,
Yeah.
If Tyreek
They're
gets
a
to
position
100
forward,
yards,
but-
he's definitely getting that MVP.
I mean,
As long as,
Tyreek
like,
Hill-
I honestly believe as long as he doesn't shit the bed at the second half of the season, and they probably have the best record going out, he's
I
probably going to
don't
win
think
it.
they. I don't think they will.
But
We have like 2 more wins to be.
I think they're going
to,
right
make- to qualify for the playoffs already, as it sits.
Oh yeah, but like
at this
they
point.
still got a
the
tough
NFC.
division. They still got a tough division.
I
So,
mean,
and,
the
like, I think a
division.
lot
The
of the
thing
games
is,
they play
still
are
division
away.
The
games.
division
coming up.
doesn't allow them to just bench players, right? 'Cause
Right, and like
they're
I
right
think
there.
the second half, you guys are playing.
I
more
think
with
week
games away.
17, week 17 against I think the Giants, they probably will if they've already clinched everything.
They need to clinch the
I
number
mean,
one seed.
the thing is this.
Yeah,
they
I'm saying if
I
they've
could
done it
see
by
them,
then.
if they've done it, because I could see them. I could
That's
see
late.
them. I could see them sitting everybody down, even against the Saints. If it's at a point where it's like, even if we lose the last two games, we're still gonna have the number one seed. They might
Well, the
just
thing
bench it.
is, 'cause
Yeah,
it's
but you
not-
got to be careful. You don't want your players sitting down for a whole month.
Rusty.
3 weeks.
Yeah, Rusty.
True. That's true
That'll be
too.
a month.
But I could
Those
see
2
Nick
games, a
Sirianni. I
bye,
think he
and
learned.
then the week
Mhm.
after, so it'll be down for like a month.
I
think
could
it's a
see
bad
Nick
idea.
Sirianni.
Yep.
I could see Nick Sirianni playing the last game out, which is true because I think he learned his lesson from when we played the Cowboys last year. It's like, why? I get it. You're trying to rest players, but why do you want to?
But if
bench
somebody
your
goes
body?
down in that last game too, the fans are gonna lose it.
And it's also going to depend on who the player. Certain players, I could see him saying,
yeah, I mean, you
"Yo,
can't
I
bench
need
the
to
whole
take a
team,
course."
but
I could see
No, the
him putting
Ravens did it
somebody
in
like
2019,
Kelsey
buddy.
or
We did that
I
too.
could see
and
him
it
putting
cost
like
us.
Kelsey or somebody down.
We did that in the Manning era. I think we benched them for like 2 weeks, and then when the playoffs came, we were hella rusty.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That's why I like
Baltimore in
Belichick. I ain't
2019.
benching nobody. You're gonna play throughout.
I think you can play a half and then sit. The
That's
second
what
half.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what he did to Jalen. What when we played Pittsburgh? Like,
Anyway, it'll be
third
fun. The
quarter,
second half will be
like,
fun. It's so funny that this far deep into the season, it's still very unpredictable. Like you don't know who's who yet. A lot of teams still don't have their identity.
I think it's starting to shape up.
Yeah.
Some teams are
But
just
yeah,
good.
like, I'm
Some
just
teams
curious
are-
of how the Eagles, because the division is very close, and like
I mean, it's
think they're
not.
playing.
Yeah, the Eagles won that first seed. Vikings are not making it look, making it any easier
Nope.
on them.
Yeah,
they
like,
can't-
they can't
and, like
make
a lot
it
of the
easy
Eagles
on them.
games, a lot of the Eagles games going forward are away, right? Against I
Yeah.
think they
And
play
look,
Yeah,
Eagles
they're-
also have like
they're a
4
bunch
division
away,
games
but
left.
They also, therefore, yeah. But also, by the time we play the division game, we'll probably have Jordan Davis back, which is one thing that I saw with the Houston game was our run defense was bad, and I think
Yeah.
part of the reason was because
Well, Damian
Well,
Pierce
playing
is
on Monday.
actually a pretty good running back. Their
What?
Texans
Monday's
actually
a
run the
division
ball
game.
decently, so
They
it's-
did.
I don't
They
think
did.
you should
Monday's
feel
a
like
division game.
that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
mean, the first half it was, but like I think they were able to contain him a little bit, even
the
though
second half.
131
Right.
yards is a
Right.
lot, but they were able to contain him more in the second half than they did in the first.
Yeah.
So they make adjust. I mean, I'm good. I'm happy with how they make adjustments because every game is slightly different. But like you said, division games are always tough. Like
Always
the
tough.
one coming up on
Form
Monday.
goes out the door a lot of the time.
Yo,
It can
Washington,
go in any
man,
direction.
be careful with that Washington team. It's Chase is coming back this week, right?
I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah, he
but
is.
I'm
Either
more
this week
afraid
or
Yeah,
of
he is
Chase.
coming back this week.
I'm more afraid of Taylor Heineke because you never know which he almost. I mean, I don't
never
like
know
talking
what
about
Taylor
last
Heineke
year,
you're
but
getting.
Oh yeah, he would
You
chuck it.
never know what you're getting.
He would chuck
But it's in Philly, so that's where I get a little bit like, okay, at least that's some breathing room there.
Yeah.
No, but that D line is legit.
Good.
They have a legit D line. You can't just run against them. Like you
Nah,
probably have
and
to
with
throw
Chase coming
screens
back.
or pass.
It's gonna be improved pass rush too, so we'll see. Should be
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, let's move on to the
Still think
games.
we get it.
Other games, we kind of got caught up in some of the glam, but yeah, Bills 17, Jets 20, close division game.
Yo,
There we go.
That was some
The Bills, man, I told you they do this like recklessness in the red zone every game, and
That
this time
division got hella
it
interesting.
came back to bite them.
The
That's
quarterback
like
is a
that-
gunslinger.
it's like
that's
the
what
East
they're
on
gonna
both.
get with
It's
those
like the
guys.
East on both
Yeah.
ends.
Facts.
No, yeah,
Facts.
no,
The
that
East on
division
both
is
ends
tough.
is crazy.
Yeah.
I thought we all thought it was going to be the NFC West, but the
Yeah, they're
AFC
more like the
West.
NFC West or
Yeah.
AFC West.
AFC West.
They're more like
the
the
AFC West.
AFC West we thought we were gonna see.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Bills can't afford to lose many more games, so they might not even win the division.
Exactly. That's how close it is.
'Cause
So
Miami is right on their tail, and
Miami's
And the
right there.
Jets.
Tua
And
has
the
won
Jets.
every game. Tua has won every game since
Yeah.
he's been back.
Jets too are playing some, and they
Yeah,
should
Jets
have
are playing
lost
well.
that game because they had a
Jets
plethora of
defense.
injuries. They had like two of their main offensive players. Well, one of them is on IR, the other one's just hurt. But
And even the Patriots might sneak up on you. Who knows?
who knows?
Once they get your playbook, that's it.
Give him that little smirk. Go ahead, Sai. Give him that smirk for the Pats. Yeah.
So AFC East,
Oh,
NFC
yeah,
East, those are the problem children this season, huh?
Yeah,
the
man.
East.
Yeah,
the East is the East.
Meanwhile,
is-
Seattle is slowly running away with the NFC West.
NFC West is still.
Seattle got that joint, dog.
Minos,
Well-
what y'all gonna do about that?
About what?
I still
Seattle.
think the 49ers could take that though. I don't know why.
We're getting healthy,
No.
man.
49ers
I'm saying
always
they're all
do
you're
this.
getting healthy. They're running away with the division.
But they'll get a wild
49ers
card
can
spot.
take the division though.
Yeah,
I think they could take it.
it's gonna be interesting.
I still think we can. I mean, we're knock on wood. We're
No, I
3-0
feel like
in the
every division. I don't
We
think
beat
any
them.
division is fully decided at this point.
No.
No, it's early. It's early. So yeah.
Nah.
Well, it's not early, but yeah, I know what you.
Well, I
Wait,
mean,
hey,
even-
NFC
even-
North is decided, okay? NFC North.
NFC North is pretty much
It could get
pretty much a
decided.
conclusion.
It could
You're
get
right.
decided, yeah.
And I would say
Even,
AFC South.
and that's why I didn't want to talk about just that.
The South,
That's
the
why I
South
was
is
like,
far from decided. Every team can win that South.
No,
the
Tennessee.
AFC
No,
South, for
Tennessee-
instance, that's why I was-
Oh,
No,
AFC. I thought you said NFC. I thought you
No, I
said
said
NFC.
No,
No,
AFC.
is
Tennessee
still
is
undecided.
running away with that.
Even the Colts could have even taken it. Honestly,
So the Colts
No,
have
weeks ago,
decided
the
to
Colts-
draft
the
high.
Colts-
3 weeks ago. Right now, it's
They've made the decision to draft
Tennessee is
high.
like Tennessee is actually knocking at the door of contention for like
Yeah.
a bye and shit.
Minnesota needs to
one
lose
seed,
one
yeah.
more game, man.
Yeah.
I'm out to root for
So,
the Cowboys.
Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. They playing Bills this week, and then they got Cowboys next week.
They'll probably beat the Bills and they'll probably lose to the Bills and whoop your ass next.
Oh,
2
we got
weeks.
Cooper Rush.
So it's
We'll
all
put Cooper
good.
Rush in there for
Panthers 21, Bengals 42. We'll talk about this game on Friday, okay? Now back to the game.
Yo, Bengals. Wait, Bengals.
They
Oh
blew them
yeah,
out.
that was a good game though.
My man
Yo,
Mixon
Joe Mixon
My man
went
Mixon-
crazy.
was looking like Camaro on that Christmas game a couple of years ago.
Yo, I was like, I'm looking at the thing like Mixon,
5
Mixon,
tutties
Mixon.
though.
What the heck? Because
I
I
had-
had him. I'm like,
I had-
Handily beat me in a fantasy game this week.
I had Mixon
in
and I
2
lost
weeks.
by less than a point.
How?
nah,
How do
I
you lose?
blew
That means the
whoever I
rest of your
blew.
team stunk it.
Oh, the
Who's
rest of
your
my team
quarterback?
is shit.
I blew whoever I was
Trevor
playing away.
Lawrence.
Like I just blew him out.
Like 50 something points, man. That's ridiculous.
Man.
I
Yeah,
slept-
50,
I fell
52
asleep
or
in the
50.
draft.
I think
Three
he
or
set a
something.
fantasy points record. I think.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just sitting there like, damn, yo,
That's
I
gnarly,
don't know if
dude.
you have
That's
to play the
gnarly.
rest of it.
Packers 9, Lions 50. Aaron Rodgers
I
was just
told you
screaming at
guys.
them.
People,
I told you guys. You guys
People.
didn't listen to me. I
Yo,
told you.
Aaron Rodgers looked
I
like
think Aaron Rodgers is done.
He's done,
I
yeah.
think this is what is going on.
He'll get
I
benched.
think there's a reason why they don't want to get him wide receivers. They're just trying to drive him out of town, even though they paid him. It's like they're just trying to find a way to like, bro, you gotta go.
I
Because
think
they thought they could
Yeah.
keep him
They
and
gave him a
Devontae
choice.
Adams in the house.
They gave him a choice. Do you want the bag or do you want us to give you help? And he said, "Give me the bag." And they're like, "Okay, then we're not getting you any help."
Basically.
Exactly.
Because
Well,
let's-
for
let's
some
be
reason
fair-
they
let's
refuse
be
to
fair
draft
to both
first round
sides.
receivers.
Let's be fair to both sides. They've been messing with Aaron Rodgers for years. This is
Even
not
in
the
his
first
prime.
time.
Even in
They've
his
been
prime.
messing with him for years. They have never drafted a top receiver. All the receivers that came and shined were people that they drafted hoping they would be good, and they ended up
Second
being
or
good.
third round.
Aaron Rodgers also hasn't done them any favors because every year he threatens to friggin' retire, and that's why they drafted. Like this man won an MVP, and then you drafted a with your first overall pick, you drafted a quarterback. What are you trying to tell him?
Yeah.
Like,
Living
even
this
in the
quarterback is not even
it's a horrible
good.
relationship, and now it's starting to roost. Like the horrible relationship is starting to show. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers has no help. Aaron Rodgers is he's starting to make horrible decisions, starting to become a gunslinger because there's no other way to go. And it's falling apart. It's a house of cards, and everybody, it's all falling apart. I think Aaron Rodgers might still have something left in him.
I don't think
It
he's
just
done.
won't be in Green Bay.
Just not in Green Bay. I agree.
I think
Yeah,
he's
just
done.
not in
Yeah,
Green
if
Bay.
anything, he's done in Green Bay. I mean,
Yeah, I
compared
think
to
he's done in
Brady,
Green
he's
Bay.
done in Green Bay.
Yeah.
He should keep it up one more week. That's all I need.
No. Maybe he might bounce back this week. I mean, no.
Nah, bro. Keep it up.
They got to make a decision because they got to
It's in
pick up
Green Bay.
Jordan Love's fifth-year option at the end of this season.
Yes.
They might
Let's
pick
keep it
up
going.
because-
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting too.
Yeah.
Okay. Raiders 20, Jags 27.
Man, Raiders, they shut it down,
Talk
man.
about the Raiders
So-
anymore. Can we just not talk about them?
It was like
how long-
20-0,
How
right?
long till my man goes back to New
17-0,
England?
and they blew it.
It was
How long till my man
17-3.
goes back to New England, dog?
Well, he might as well go at the end of the
Secondly
season.
coming back. Well, he might.
You always take him back. What are you talking about?
I don't think he's gonna make it to
That's
the end of the
Belichick's
season.
boy, man. He's always going to take him back.
You don't think he's gonna make it at the end of the season, Rex?
No,
I think
They
I think he will.
didn't
I think he
even
will.
score in the second half.
See that?
As usual, they swallow
this is the
17
thing. This is the
point
thing
lead
with
like nothing.
McDaniels. This is the thing with McDaniels that a lot of people forget. When McDaniels got his first job with the Broncos, he went like 6-0 in the beginning. Everybody was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, this man is
Yeah.
legit." Then the filming of teams scandal broke, and then like he just fell apart from there. And you could just tell that man, this man was doing something and was seeing some things that people weren't seeing. And when they took that vision away from him, he became useless. And that's how he ended his first career. He's come back this season. Same thing. He doesn't have the insight and he doesn't know. I don't think he makes good in-game adjustments. I don't think he does. Because Devontae Adams went off and they still lost. They had
Yeah,
like
they did.
120 and
Yeah.
change and 230s
I think
and they still lost.
two
I
touchdowns.
also don't think a lot of players like to play for him. Honestly, in my opinion, I mean,
I don't think so. I don't think that's fair because the distance between his two head coaching jobs was so far apart. A lot of the
It's
players
hard to
never
make
even
that
experienced
conclusion.
it. So I don't know
No,
if
but
that's-
now even the players that were in training camp, like look, they just released John Abraham. Like your
he was
Yeah,
terrible.
safety.
He was awful.
He
Yeah,
was
but I
terrible.
don't
Like he was
know.
terrible for
I
3
mean,
years.
He's a linebacker.
Mhm.
He's
He's
a linebacker.
safety.
He's like a poor man's Adams, but he's worse.
He was terrible. He was
Yeah,
terrible. The
man.
man was not good. Like, he was released.
But
was supposed to be-
Man, the draft picks, man. Those
Yeah,
draft
they
picks.
screwed up on
like
draft picks.
7 of them, right? That are just no
They
longer.
messed up on like 7 draft picks.
Yeah, Mito sent me the link to that, Joe. That's crazy.
It's insane, man. The Raiders
That
are
was-
a dumpster fire.
I love the Raiders, but damn,
Yeah, we need Sam on here, man.
I know, right? I know. You notice he's like, I'll come on one of the episodes.
But that man has
You
moved
need
on,
to
man.
get your
Yeah,
ass
man.
over here.
Chargers 20, Falcons 17. Falcons actually had that game and
Yeah,
they messed up.
idiots.
So,
The Chargers always
the
find
Chargers
the
hanging
thing-
around. They have nobody
They-
left.
They
I
always
know.
find a way to
I
win
know.
last minute games.
Watch
Like,
those
it's
motherfuckers
crazy.
beat us this week.
No way. I mean, they're sneaky 5-3,
Right.
right?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. They're hanging around.
They always find a way to
they're
win.
like injury depleted. That's the crazy part.
The crazy part,
Yeah.
they're the worst team against the run, and the Falcons had Cordero Patterson back.
They stopped giving Cordero Patterson the ball. They just
They're like,
stopped.
"Ah, let's
They're
try and
starting
throw
this
this."
week. 'Cause
Wait,
I
But
is
last
he on
week
your
was
team?
Mariota's birthday, so maybe that was his birthday request.
Oh,
Wait, is he on your team, Sensei?
yeah.
He's on- who? Cordero
In
Patterson?
our league?
What, Cordero?
Yeah.
No, I have
He's
him in
on my
another league.
team.
Oh,
He's on my team.
oh
I
okay.
have him. Yeah, I'm starting him this week actually because Mixon's out.
Nice. All right, we have the Dolphins 35, the Bears 32. Yo, these Bears are starting to swing a little bit,
I
man.
know,
I
right?
told you. I told you, man.
I told you all at the beginning of the year.
Justin.
I definitely told you at the beginning of the year.
I said the
Fields
run game.
is going to have a decent season despite his shitty team. And
No,
you
the
guys
run
said,
game.
look at
No,
him
but
now.
I think they changed the offense.
That's what I
right
told
before
you.
the Patriots game.
You're quoting everything I said at the beginning of the year. They
Well,
catered the
also-
offense to his strengths. He's going to have a decent year. I said
Look,
that.
check this. All right, so one real quick, tailoring it to his strengths. That's probably why the Broncos suck because they're not doing shit to help Russ. They're not letting him eat the run.
That's
But
true.
two,
Dude is doing
look,
pull-ups. in
when the
plane.
Panthers traded away McCaffrey, what they do? They blew out the next team because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, nobody believes in us. Fuck them, and then they just balled out. The Bears in 2 straight weeks traded defensive stalwarts, and they were like, oh, they don't
yeah,
believe
two
us?
of them.
So let's ball, and
Two of them.
they did.
Nah,
they
I don't
are.
think they're going to be
just
winning games, but I
No,
think.
but they got robbed. They got robbed in that game. There was a clear PI.
Oh yeah,
And-
yeah. True story.
Just
True
kind of,
story.
I mean, same thing with the Seahawks. This at the end there with
True
them.
story.
Same
Yeah.
thing with the Chiefs and the Titans. They definitely robbed them of all that
Oh,
play
yeah.
in the end zone.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yo, these refs have been.
Casey was
dogging
playing
this
wrestling and he got the
shit.
call. I don't
Yeah,
believe
man.
that now.
These refs, man.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
man.
I don't get fined.
Yeah. Vikings 20, Commanders 17. They almost blew that game.
The
Yo,
Commanders
the
had
ref
that
had a
game.
great tackle.
Yeah,
You like that?
With his
Yo,
gold,
the
his
ref.
shirt off,
What, what was he doing on the plane?
Nah, bro. He's
Yeah,
gonna do that again.
You're gonna do that in 2
Coco
weeks.
On the
Chains,
plane,
man.
dog.
Yo, the ref
Coco Chains. Coco.
With the chains, dog.
Coco Chains.
You know what? Every time he does that, his team starts tanking after that. You know?
That's why he's doing it this week. So next
Hey,
week
dog.
if they tank, they'll be
This
man
fine
said-
for the following
Literally?
week.
What's his name? Kirk Cousins has been a starting quarterback in the NFL since 2012. There is not a single team that Kirk Cousins has beaten, and in that year they have gone to the Super Bowl. So if you lose to Kirk Cousins, just know that your season is done. So yeah, you better not lose to the Vikings, because whoever plays the Vikings, if you lose, you ain't going to the Super Bowl.
No.
Yo, man, the ref had a great tackle on that Curtis Samuel.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
the reception.
But that's the thing with Heineke, though. He would throw it up there.
Yep.
He ain't got shit to lose.
I know.
Nothing to lose, man.
He's like, fuck it. Curtis down there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep. Seahawks 31, Cardinals 21.
That is
Tyler
another dumpster fire.
Gino.
That is another dumpster fire that is being under the radar dumpster fire.
Coach is gonna go though.
Didn't he
Cardinals
argue
is
with his
not
coach
a good
again?
football team. Their quarterback
yeah.
is not
No,
a
you're
great
right.
quarterback.
Didn't Kyler Murray
Their
argue with his
Yeah.
coach is not a great coach. Their
They have a great
GM is not a
receiver.
great GM.
Yeah.
They are not good.
But I've noticed Kyler doesn't like being touched. He goes down way too easy for my
Because he's a little guy.
no, like right as soon as he sees a defender,
He's like Russell Wilson's height.
Nah, he's
Nah,
got to be
he's shorter.
smaller than that.
Nah, he's
Shorter?
smaller. He's smaller than
What
that,
is he?
yeah.
5'10"?
He's probably
he doesn't want to
5'6".
get hit at
He's
all.
like 5'10", 5'11".
That's around Russ. Russ is like 5'11".
No, I think Russ is 6.
I think
Russ
Russ
is
is
thicker.
like 5. He's just
He's
bigger.
just thicker, yeah.
He's just bigger.
He's
Faster.
listed at 5'10", which means you know they give him 2 more inches.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
Nah, he doesn't like getting touched at all. For someone that fast, you would think.
I know.
And when he runs, he's like, eh.
yeah, Speedy Gonzalez joint.
His fucking elbows don't bend; they just run all
Yeah.
stiff.
5'11" and 5'10".
5'11", 5'10". Okay.
And like, yeah, I mean, they're 0-2 since the new Call of Duty came out.
He's been on the sticks.
Wait,
And that team is
are
not
they
good.
done?
That team is not good.
Are they done though?
They're not a good team, man.
They're not a good team.
They
They're not a
done?
good
They're
team.
not well coached.
They're putting up some points now because
They're
D-Hop
not a
is back.
good coach.
And
They're not
they
a good
got 2
GM.
games against us.
Which is what makes me scratch my head, because you didn't have to pay Kyler. You didn't have to pay the coach. Why are they making these decisions? You Steve Kimes, when they had Steve Kimes, they gave him 1 year and then they fired him.
Yeah.
You've given this new coach who has not performed nearly as well as Steve Kimes did 3 years and extended him.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Like,
He has
what
a
is
nice
this?
crib, though.
This is why people complain about racism in the
crib
NFL.
is
Like,
nice.
this makes no sense.
yeah,
Yeah, that crib is nice, man.
This is an exact. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. That's weird, man.
Anyway,
I mean, fuck. Jim Caldwell got fired from the Lions.
That's the
all
worst.
from
The Lions-
And that's the best year they've had since.
I know,
Like,
right?
Yeah.
they haven't had a better year since that. It's
And they
crazy.
brought Patricia in. How did that work out?
And they gave him a longer time.
Patricia gave us
2 years,
Darius
right?
Slay. I mean,
Yeah, 2 years.
he gave us big play. We thank him. Patricia was good, man. He gave us Darius. Come on, let's give him some credit. Big play. Yeah, big play out of that.
Rams 13, Bucks 16.
That was a terrible
Brady
game
gave
to
them that
watch.
last minute touchdown.
Yo, Rams are like a shell of themselves, man.
Peak.
No, that game was horrible to watch, man.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, what he
Well,
said after the game.
Remember when the GM was at the parade with the F them picks shirt? That's what happens when you
Oh,
trade
yeah.
away all your assets.
And now you don't have any picks for like
Now
3
you have
years.
no
like,
picks,
first
and your
round.
players are not playing.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're still trying to give up 2 picks for Burns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you have them?
Yo,
When
Yo,
the
Big
big
man
man-
left.
Oh, they were
Hey,
giving like
Evo,
2027,
It's
2026.
it's like the salary cap thing when they were signing all these players. I'm like, wait, does LA have a separate salary cap? Or something?
I know, right?
Right.
Why giving all
dog.
these people
So,
money?
like-
Like, where you getting the money from?
Wow.
You know what's funny is all they've done though is trade away picks and done nothing to recoup them. Like the 49ers, we've traded away a lot of picks recently, right?
Yeah.
Trying to recoup him back.
Yeah. We got 9 picks coming up in the next draft because we got so many compensatory picks because everybody keeps hiring our minority coaches.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to McDaniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really roll.
D'Amico Ryan's probably be the next one.
Right.
It's true. D'Amico might go to Houston.
I think he's gonna get hired.
No, man.
Nah, I
No.
think he's got to keep
Go
them
to
Houston
Houston.
at least one more year. You can't
I'm
fire
going to
that guy.
Indy.
Lovey
Indy.
Smith, they might fire him. Houston is
Nah,
not.
that would be horrible.
I don't think
You
so. I
gotta
don't think
keep
they're
him
playing
Houston.
that
I think
bad.
they're
It's not a
playing
good team.
decent.
But I don't
Yeah.
think they
Yeah.
fired.
Now Houston is playing good, but their
Have,
GM
what,
is just
4
not.
coaches
he's
in
not
4 years?
consistent.
Yeah, so you don't fire the coach. Like, why would you fire the coach if the GM?
No, but the GM is the one going to fire the coach. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yo,
That
but
Well,
guy
you
that's
just
gets
get a
it.
backlash. You don't want to do
That's
that.
4 coaches in 4 years. Has
Yeah.
that ever happened
They
in
don't
that
care.
league?
Cleveland had what? 6
Oh, yeah,
coaches
wait.
in-
49ers. We went from fucking Harbaugh, Tom Sula, Chip Kelly, then Shanahan. 4 coaches, 4 years.
You
Yeah.
guys
I
actually
feel
Yeah,
like at one point
Cleveland,
in Cleveland, they had
at
like
one
3
point,
coaches
Cleveland
in
was
1
paying
year.
4 coaches. Yeah, they were paying 4 coaches at one point.
Yeah.
They're probably still
Anyway.
paying one of them.
Last game, the Sunday night joint. Titans 17, Chiefs 20 overtime win. That was a good game.
That was a
All
good
I know
game,
is
man.
this:
Good game.
I don't want to play
Cheated.
Tennessee and their running attack. This
Yeah, Henry-
Tennessee reminds me of like the Niners.
and we got to play in
AFC.
December. I do not want to.
I think the Niners are a
Might
little more
drop that
competent
game.
in the air game. That's the difference.
No, I'm just saying how physical
But yeah,
they
they're
play.
physical team.
How
Yeah,
fit-
yeah.
They're a very physical team.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
They'll come to
Oh, look at
they'll
their
come to
coach,
Baltimore in January. We'll see them.
Yeah,
We owe
they're
them- we
coming
owe
to
them a
us in
few.
December.
But bro, you know Ken Harry got your number.
But
You see,
AJ
this
will
is
give
not
him
fair
something.
because the last time we played them, we beat them and we
isn't it
stopped
1-1?
Henry, but nobody
Rex, in the
remembers
playoffs?
that.
It's 1-1 now, right?
What?
It's 1-1, yeah.
Since you played them,
Playoffs.
it's 1-1, right? You beat
Yeah.
them once, they beat you once.
In the playoffs, yes.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah.
That'll be a game where it's just basically who can smash.
We said King Henry, man.
Ken
We got
Harry
something
got your
for him.
number,
We
man.
got something
That
for
little
that man.
dance, the little dance in the end zone.
I know.
Roquan will be waiting for him in the middle of the hole, in the hole. Roquan will be
Roquan
waiting
don't
for
want
him.
none of that, man.
Roquan
Roquan
don't
want none of that, dog. Maybe Calais Campbell does, but Roquan, I don't
Roquan
know.
don't want none of that.
What? Have you seen Roquan?
Have you seen Ken Henry?
There's a reason Roquan is not tackles.
Yo, Ken Henry, you got to attack him from the bottom, man.
Man, we ain't scared of Ken Henry. We stopped him before. We didn't even have Roquan then.
You gonna get that
I
stiff
don't know.
arm.
Wasn't that right,
Basically,
him
Ken
coming
Henry.
back from his foot surgery though?
No, he that was before that.
Oh,
True. Anyway, on to the Thursday game. Falcons.
We don't have to talk
the
about that.
Panthers.
No, we do. It was actually, you forget they just played 2 weeks ago. It was amazing.
no.
Okay. To the-
The Falcons
Man,
and the
let's
Panthers,
go,
you guys
let's go, let's
crazy?
go. Time.
I didn't
time.
watch
Oh
that.
yeah, and that's the one where
That's a great
the
game.
helmet game.
One of the best
The
games of
helmet
the year.
Yeah.
The helmet
the
game.
helmet
Wait,
game.
that was one of the best games of the year.
I was drunk out of my mind at the Eagles game.
Sounds
like
like
a
a personal problem, sir.
Me afternoon on Sunday.
That was the one the kicker kept missing kicks to win the
Yes,
game, man.
Pinero.
Yes.
Pinero
Yeah,
kept
that's
hooking it.
I'm picking the
actually
Falcons.
excited for this one.
I'm
Yeah, I
You know
got
why?
Falcons,
Because
man.
that division is still wide open.
Cordero's back.
still wide open, dog.
Still wide open, man.
Yep.
Man,
You know,
Brady's
you
gonna
got-
take it. Come on, man.
I'm picking
I'm
the
pick-
Falcons.
I'm picking the Falcons.
Ty?
Falcons.
Wait, who's the
He
quarterback?
speaks.
Who's the quarterback for Panthers?
PJ Tucker. PJ Walker. PJ
PJ
Walker.
You sure Baker didn't get his job back?
He
No.
played a little last week.
No, Baker
played
has,
a little better.
Baker has been pushed to like the third
Nah,
string.
No,
he
he
played
played
last
last
week. What are
week.
you talking about? They benched PJ last
They
week.
benched
and he
PJ at
played,
halftime.
He played in the second half. He
Yeah,
got
second half.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the coach came and said PJ started this week, I think.
PJ
How?
started,
How
man.
off the bench?
Yeah, he did.
Because they
That don't matter.
elevated Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is back from IR.
Hold
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Oh, he is? Okay.
He
Who's
is.
the
He just
Panthers
came-
coach
I think
again?
he just got reactivated.
Who's the
Yeah.
Panthers coach? It used to be Matt Rule.
It's an interim. I'm about to say it's an interim. So
He's still getting paid though.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
Well,
they
he's
hire
gonna get paid for like 4
Julian
more
head
years,
coach?
man.
yeah, so is Reich. Reich is getting paid till 2026.
Yeah,
Good.
getting like $200K
Yeah,
a week.
taxes for
Yeah,
coach,
we-
they still get paid.
Yeah.
$200K
Steve
a
Wilkes.
week.
Steve
Yeah.
Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes, yeah. Wilkes from Cardinals. He's the one who
Yeah,
has lit the
Cardinals
fire
defensive
under them.
black guy.
Solid
Hey,
coach, man.
Who you pick?
I got Falcons, man.
Kweku?
Magic City.
Huh.
Going with
You going
Falcons.
for the wings? Or you going for the yams? You know the yams I'm talking about.
We want wings or we want yams, baby.
I have some piece of paper waiting if I went for
He
the
won both, man. He's going for both.
Don't forget
I'm
about peace.
gonna go for the yams, dog.
You go for both,
Piece
man.
of paper.
Don't forget
Go for
about
both.
peace.
Yams.
Piece
Yeah,
of
man.
both.
Anyway, that concludes our show. We'll be back again on Friday, same time. You already know. For our
Winner's circle,
preview.
baby. Winner's circle.
I don't know what that means anymore.
I sir.
The Birdman hands. The Birdman hands.
One game at a time.
Where's the cigar, dog?
Relax.
I put it away. I can't. It's a
Yeah,
hassle to
Jets.
take
Where'd
out.
you get a cigar?
You got to do the Birdman's hands with the cigar. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work.
I'll do it on Friday. Ravens have a bye, so we already have our win for this week. So,
Oh yeah, you guys on a bye this week, right?
Where'd you put that cigar, Rex?
I know, right?
Yeah, man.
back in
Anyway,
the cigar box.
thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back on Friday. Love as always. And like that, like Ursay, we go.
No.
Yeah, I forgot to end the